Good evening, everyone. Today is Tuesday of transformation. So, Transformation Tuesdays are stories of ordinary people who have really created some great transformation in their life, and that is why they have achieved something truly amazing or great. It could be in the personal life, it could be in the professional life, but there is a transformation happened at some level. And that is what we discuss every single day. Hi Jayalakshmi, great to have you here. So today is this Tuesday, and it's a story of an amazing person. A person who's traveled such a huge journey to be where he is today. But before that, I would want to reiterate for all the people who are going to join me. Hi Aishwarya, hi Mayur. People who have wanted to look towards inspiration. Hi Srividya, hi Arshi. Who want to really relate to life, who want to see how people can change their life. And transformation is about that. So what is transformation? Transformation is a change which is permanent. A change which stays with you as long as you live. It is not created by something external. External matter could be a trigger, but it has shifted something within. So when that internal change happens, that is what is transformation all about. Hi Janvi, hi Varun. Awesome, I'm really, hi Pranav. So many people joining us in the very first 5 minutes. So it's really, really amazing. Thank you guys for coming here every Tuesday and encouraging us to make us believe that this is really working for all of you. So like I shared last time, we had 1,000 plus people viewing our video of this live session, which was truly amazing. It built a lot of excitement and hope in me that what I've tried to do is really reaching out to people. And I'm sure that today's video is also going to do a great job towards the same effort or the cause that I have started. So today is a story of a young lad belonging to a place. Of course, I'm going to ask him to share the place that he belongs. I'm so sure that 99% of my audience wouldn't have heard of the town that he comes from. He comes from such a small place, right? But in spite of coming from that background, how did he really create his life? We all believe that, most of us feel that if we didn't have that great background, that is why we couldn't do good. We couldn't achieve in life because I wasn't born in such a rich family. I didn't have that kind of financial resources. I didn't have that kind of contacts. My parents didn't have great connection. I didn't have a great network. My people were not really educated. All these things come to us. Or I didn't come from a great place. You were in Bombay, so you can create a career. Today's story will clear all that myth. And it will be very clear that if anyone wants to achieve something humongous, there's only one thing required. And what is that one thing? We'll get to know from the guest tonight. So let us all really welcome. Virtually, you all can clap to invite the guest for tonight. And that's Mr. Sanjay Pekam to us so that we can see him and hear from him. It's going to be truly amazing to have him as a guest. Good evening, Sanjay.
Good evening, madam. Can you hear me?
And yes, I can hear you. And I would really prefer if you could adjust the camera a little so I can see you more clearly.
Is it okay now?
Yes, it's perfect. So first of all, Sanjay, thank you very much for joining us. Believe me, all the people who are here today are going to be truly inspired by your story. So thank you very much for coming here and joining us today.
Thank you. Like you are considering me that kind of person. I think thanks a lot.
No, you've really achieved so much in life. Hi Anuja, hi Sameer. So Sanjay, many people believe that you need to have some kind of background. Maybe you should be in the right city, or you should have great family background, something that will create a foundation, and then you can achieve success. And today's story is like this, that you don't need any background if you want to really achieve success and lead a great, happy life. It's not only about success. You're leading an amazing, truly happy, fulfilled life. So that is what I want to share with the audience today, that what does it really take if you want to be happy and successful? Hi Akash, great to have you here. So let's really begin from the very beginning. So which place do you belong to? I was in fact telling my audience that 99% chances are you've not even heard of that place.
Okay.
So what was your family background and where do you come from?
Okay, I belong to a place called Ganga Khed. It is in the Parbhani district. So I don't know, even a lot of people may not know even Parbhani also. So it is kind of
Absolutely.
like 220 kilometers from Aurangabad. Right? So it is a taluka
Okay.
place, and that is a kind of like around 30 to 40,000 population kind of a town. That's what I can call it.
Yes. Yes.
And like,
So guys, that was right. None of you would have heard of something called as Ganga Khed exists in India, right? It's not in the map for all of us. So that was really awesome. Yes, Sanjay. So what is the family background that you come from?
okay, I am from like from a middle class family. My dad used to work for government of Maharashtra in health department, and we were like four siblings. Means I'm the fourth one. I have two elder brothers and elder sister, and that along with my dad also there were like three more his brothers, like means uncles. So it was and
Okay.
grandma and grandfather. Like it was a really big joint family. Like so like it was a kind of like three four neighbors together. It's kind of a family. Like we had our own what kind
True.
of it's a big place, and we all used to stay in together.
Right. So between four siblings to manage, do you think your father was really economically that strong that he would have provided for everything for you?
Not really. Like we were doing okay, but honestly, like for like schooling and all that time, it was like school fees was really not high like today. So it was average
Yes.
fees, and that was okay. But for like we were not. I to be honest, I didn't had even a two wheeler. Like I'm thinking two wheeler means like bike and that kind of okay scooter and all. Rather, we didn't had in our whole
Yeah.
family. Like I
Ah,
so forget about myself. So we didn't had in a whole family. I just used to walk to school, tuition because it's a medium town. So 2 or 3 kilometers walking was like just a normal thing.
right. And in such kind of situations, I always feel, Sanjay, that good teachers really have a great impact on our lives. So, did you have any such teacher who created a difference in your life? Hi, Gurbaksh. Hi, Sefali. Great to have you here. Yes, Sanjay.
Yes, definitely. Like actually, we went like as we were in like a small town. So we don't have like any coaching classes kind of thing, but it was like a tuition. Like so so the same teacher, Mr. Kachwe sir, his name is. So he used to teach us English as well as mathematics. Okay, both the teacher like he was the same one. So in the morning it was a mathematics teacher. In the evening, he same the person used to teach us the English. And then we used
Yes.
to like yeah I think it was around, if I remember correctly, it was around 25 rupees or 30 rupees per month kind of a fees was there.
Hmm.
So we had,
Hmm.
and so he was like our whole and soul, like kind of once like dad will hand over to him, okay, he will take care. Like so that was the kind of trust in the rural area, right? So the unless parents will hardly, okay, they will really, there was no kind of parent teacher meeting or anything like that. So it was kind of handed over
Yes.
to teacher. And then he used to like really really he was passionate about like teaching. So he was like not for the money, but he used to love teaching. So one that helped us to like excel a lot. And second thing, like he also taught us a lot of life lessons, like it's not
Hmm.
how to behave in a society, how to go in a bigger when you grow up, what things you should take care, and those kind of things was really like he used to like take us to the market. In fact, we have seen a lot of movies with him also. So he was to say, okay, in the
Wow.
study time, you focus on studies, but when you are not, let's enjoy the life also. Not necessarily that you have to be always like
Wow.
that teacher and like student kind of a thing.
Right. Hi, Eman. Hi, Amay. Hi, Aflatun. Great to have you here. So, did he teach any lessons to you in life? Did he become your mentor, and how did you live up to those lessons?
Yes, definitely. Actually, see, one, two, three things what he used to like work with us closely, like was one, like he used to say, like one, believe yourself, and second, like you say, like be honest and truthful. Uh, I mean, it's like always, like that was a key learning what we had taken. Like be honest and truthful, and someday or other day it will help you. Second thing you should do, like live your life and don't be like after money always. You should say, just follow your passion. You should, and one key thing is to say, okay, we should not work for money. Money should work for us. So that was the key thing. So like, because the human relationship, trust, that is always much more important than just like money alone. So that saying he always used
Right,
to say, just don't follow the money. Money will anyway will follow you. You just follow your passion.
right, right. So, guys, such a great learning from a teacher who said that be truthful and honest, which means stay committed to what you're doing. And when you're committed to what you're doing, you're passionate, money will follow. You don't have to follow behind money. So, that was truly amazing. Hi, Vishwas. So, these lessons, now I'm sure, Sanjay, everyone would have heard to these lessons, but you followed these lessons in your life, which is an amazing thing because I always feel whether it's a mentor or a coach, the coach or the mentor is same to all the pupil or the students or the coaches, but it is the coachee as well who's really seeking from the mentor and living up to the lessons taught by the mentor. So that's something that you've really done, that the lessons that he's taught that age you have still continued to live. So that's really truly amazing. Audience, do you really feel that, you know, that's something amazing, that first he remembers the name of his teacher even at this age, and he also remembers the lessons that the teacher taught, and he's lived up to those lessons. So that's really truly following the mentor. That's really amazing. Hi, Tushal. So of course you studied, finished your education, did your 10th there. Which medium did you study, Sanjay?
Oh, it was like a Marathi school. Like in our whole town, there was no English medium school. There were like four schools, but all were like simple Marathi medium. And that's where like I just up to 10th, I just studied into the Marathi medium school only.
Right. So, hi Kishore. So, people may feel that, you know, when you study from Marathi medium, then life is too small. You cannot achieve anything great. So, that is the second myth that we all have. So, first myth, you have to come from a great location, which he doesn't. He comes from a town which we have not heard of. Second, he passes 10th from Marathi medium school, and yet he's achieved all what I'm really going to share with you ahead. Let's really go to the story. So, of course, after 10th standard, you would have to move from the place naturally for education. So, how did that go for you?
Okay, yes. In the 10th result, that was really an exciting day for my and life, and it was a turning point. But you will like laugh now. So
Yes.
that time I scored 78%. Okay. So, but honestly, in 87, my 10th was in 87, but that time in our whole taluka, we had 5 people who scored above 78%. Remember, like it was so difficult.
Absolutely
Like,
right.
so it was like, not like today everybody is above 90%. It's not like that. It was like only we used to call distinction. And that time there used to be like a merit list, like where you in the 10th people will publish the merit list, and then there will be like first 30 people across the Maharashtra. So I went to a college, Saraswati Bhuvan College at
Yes.
Aurangabad. So I went to that college and I was just shaken
Hmm.
because in my class alone, it was at that time it was a class of 120 people, and almost 100 plus
Yeah.
people like were above my mark. And then out of that top 30 people, we had like almost because some numbers have duplicate students, right? So more number of people. So in my class alone,
Yes.
there were 30 to 35
Right.
people who were in the merit list. Okay. So we were just like kind of shaken
Wow.
because I'm maybe in the bottom 10, I would say, in that 120 people. So,
Absolutely.
so like it
So,
was
topmost in your area, and then when you come here, it's competition with so many people.
exactly,
Wow.
yeah. So yeah, it was like really, but then same the teacher guided us. He said, just not worry, don't look about your competition, just focus on yourself because 10th and 12th, it is altogether different ball game. And second thing, it is a consistency what matters. So one thing I would like to say, like here, like as I was coming from the medium family, so my dad had made me very clear, like I'm sending you hostel, I cannot afford you, but still I'm sending you onto the hostel. But you have to ensure that you should get into the government engineering college. Okay, then only you can continue your education. If
Hmm.
not, you have to come back to our village and we will do some small business or something, because we cannot afford the private college, like the donations and the private college. So then at the back of our mind, like I always have that, okay, yes, we have to be like, like make sure that our dream, if I have to realize my dream, I have to work hard. There is no shortcut for that. And like a lot of few of my friends like who were with me, they got swayed away because when you go into the hostel, there's just all freedom, like no mom, dad, and you just enjoy movies because Aurangabad was a big city. Like we had like movie.
Right.
Yeah, even I like my teacher had made me uh, actually when I'm leaving, so he asked me to give a promise that I will not watch more than 5 movies in a year, and I just completed that in 1 month itself. So, so then he told me left, right. So he said, boss, you cannot continue like that. And then it's very difficult for you to get into any engineering and all because the atmosphere and all
Right.
that city life is very different.
Right. So, hi Dipti, hi Shitija. So basically, your teacher told you that you have to remain focused,
Correct.
not worry of the competition, give your best, and that is how you'll be able to achieve your results. So, did you get an admission in the government college?
Yes, like then I really focused on my studies and touch wood in 12th. Then I got like 98 percentile. So that was quite good. So then like within the first list, at that time it used to like CET. There was no exam like, but it was more on the PCM like physics, mathematics, and chemistry all marks together. So I got the
Right.
in college, government engineering college, Nanded, my choice of branch in the first list itself. So that kind of helped me
Wow.
to make sure that focus. Like then he said, like that was a key thing. The family background, the clear communication from parent. Yes, you are on your own. So if you succeed, it's your life. If you fail, you just come back. And the
Right.
teachers come to constant inspiration that make sure that you don't lose from the focus. That really helped me to achieve.
Right. So, Sanjay, after finishing your engineering from the government college, how did you get your first job?
Yeah, that is a long story. See, because again, the engineering college was in Nanded. I don't know many people whether they have heard or not. Again, that is in the Marathwada region, but it is a government college. It was very good, very good teaching and all. But because it was like so distance-wise, it is away from Pune, Mumbai kind of cities. So very few companies used to come for the placement. So there was no option but to go to Pune, Mumbai for job. So then I was
Right.
thinking like, so because some people from Mumbai, they were in my college, so we decided to pack up our bags and go to Mumbai. And at that time, as there was no computer, so we used to, I still remember like I typed my resume on an electronic typewriter because it was a regular and electronic was like little bit high-end typewriter. And you make one print
Right.
of that resume and then make 100 photocopies of that, so that is cheaper. So we will make 100 photocopies and
Right.
just walk door to door to each company. So I remember like in 15 days I must have visited at least like 100 plus companies, and then there also watchman will not allow you to come. Okay, he'll say, okay, drop here in the drop box or give it to me, I will pass on to the HR. So we used to do that. And the contact was also that I was staying as a paying guest, and there it was one telephone, like one common number, so that we had given. And by touch wood, like as I was trying, so I could get my first job within 30 days. Like first 30 days I could get my first job. So that itself was
Wow.
a big achievement because I got a decent salary, and it company was also multinational. It is Ion Exchange India Limited. So that was really like one of the big
Right.
moment in my life.
Right. So, the younger generation who's listening to us today understand the kind of challenges which were there earlier. So, it is not like today you make a CV on your laptop and then you have to just press a button and it will reach 100 people. That wasn't the scenario. You had to actually type your CV, then take a Xerox, and then go door to door handing over. So it was like from the day one, you're doing sales because people are not letting you inside the premises. So it was an easy job. But Sanjay really managed to score a job there. So there was no placement, no companies on the campus who are going to recruit you. In spite of that, he made it happen. So Mumbai, an absolutely different world altogether, right? How did you do there, and how was the job? Hi, Amol.
So actually, yes, it was again like Aurangabad was a big city, but then Nanded was again medium, and then again suddenly Mumbai. Because a lot of people, honestly, like in the rural background, they get scared about Mumbai because they think it's a really big city, and it is. It is a
Right.
quite big city. But touch
Yes.
wood, because of the connects in the college, one of my friend in a college, his parent used to keep some paying guests. So that's how I could get like a boarding location in a Dadar kind of area. So I stayed in Hindu colony in Dadar. It was really a prime area. And but it was not like a very luxury apartment. I still remember, like, we were like in each room there were like 2 people, then hall there were 4 people, so total 12 people, and then there was one washroom, like common, toilet and bathroom
Ah.
was one. We have
Hmm.
to just adjust according to our schedule. In my first job, I still remember, like, we have to catch from the other station 7 o'clock and 7 double fast local to Badlapur, because my office was like 55 kilometers
Yes.
away. So I
Hmm.
remember, like, in 2 years period, I didn't miss a single time. I used to like that. That was like a challenge, because common driver. So there will be numbers. Who will first go? How much time they
Yes.
will get? Because in Mumbai, everything is like kind of a discipline and like a line queue, right? So
Right.
we used to have that from our washroom itself. So, but it was
Hmm.
a very good experience, because I'm initially did still face some issues, because it was a metro Mumbai city and a lot of people were polished, and I, being from the rural
Yeah.
background, English was little bit rough, right? So we had the accent and that kind of thing. We did definitely face the problems, but
Yes.
the hard work, the kind of hard work we used to put extra efforts, that really put us ahead in the game. So irrespective of if you are like really talented, and if you are like putting extra efforts, I don't think there is nobody can stop you, really.
Right. Hi, Ankush. So you started working there, you were traveling, and today's time where we need 3 bedrooms with attached 3 bathrooms, otherwise it becomes uncomfortable. Here was Sanjay amongst 12 people rushing to the washroom so that he catches the train on time. So it was a tough life. So then, how did you move ahead? Did you pursue any further course? How did your career step up?
Yes, as my job was in Aurangabad, but then our company was setting a plant in Ankleshwar in Gujarat. So then
Yes.
used to travel there, and later on I got transferred to the Gujarat, like Ankleshwar. And a lot of people may be knowing, it's like from the Mumbai to Delhi on the en route there, like in near Bharuch.
Right.
Near Bharuch. So it was a full
Yeah.
chemical zone and like all chemical factories there. And we initially we enjoyed, because like we were like setting a completely brand new plant, and a lot of learnings were there. I learned a lot of new things, and in fact I got like within 2 years I got my promotion also, and got like employee of the year award, because we were like so passionate
Wow.
working there. And I still remember that time, if you remember, Surat had that plague in 89,
Yes.
sorry, 94. There was a plague in Surat, and
Yes.
a lot of people were like
Yes.
fleeing from Ankleshwar and Surat, like across the India. So, but we stay put, and then we completed our plant on schedule, and that was really like everybody like were amazed, like, by the kind of passion we had. And so then I was like thinking whether we should like really make parents and all were like, okay, hey, now you are settled, a company has given us the quarter, so why don't you get married? But then I was thinking, okay, that is not something I was planning to. I had a dream to do some myself, like a MBA in Mumbai. So that was my dream, at least I should do and learn management techniques. And then I decided, okay, no, I
Yes.
will continue. So parallelly, I was studying for my MBAs, and I appeared for this entrance exam, and then got admission into Mumbai for Chetna College.
Okay. Right. So you did your MBA, and then I'm sure next step would be marriage, and of course, career happening simultaneously. So how did that go?
Yes, yeah. Then once I did MBA, so there, good part was like, as I had the experience, so I could, like relate a lot of things from the corporate world. It helped me to, grasp a lot of subjects quickly, and then parallelly, like, okay, hey, where we should get placed. That was the kind of thing going on at that time. IT was not such a big thing, but it was just picking up. So I decide, okay, where to go, and then I kind of joined Tata Consultancy Services. So initially we didn't thought of like so big, but it was okay at that time. It was like manufacturing, IT jobs all were together. And then within
Yeah.
once I got settled with Tata Consultancy, then there was like pressure from home. Okay, hey, why don't you get married? And then there was a lot of abroad opportunities in like 98, 99 era. So then parents decided,
Right.
hey, why don't you get married? And then I was like, okay, and that was the right time. I had a kind of decent job, and then like a lot of relatives were like me, hey, why don't you see some girls? And that's how I first time I met through again acquaintance. I met Arti, my wife now. So it was like first girl. So we had a meeting. I liked
Oh,
her. So yeah, so the family culture and everything was good. So I said there's no point in like hopping around. So if whatever your expectations are getting matched in one thing, so I don't have to go on shopping. So it's kind of thing. Okay, I said,
yeah.
and then that's it. Like I got married into December 98.
Okay. Hi Priyanka. Hi Rajendra. Hi Abhishek. So, you got married, you were working with TCS. How did you move out of the country? What was the first option that you got?
Yes. So when we were working in Tata Consultancy in 99, there was a lot of demand for the IT engineer because of this Y2K phenomena. A lot of there was theory going on like, okay, a lot of computers will crash or programs will crash. So there was a huge demand into the USA. And then TCS and through TCS, I got the opportunity to work with Cummins company, like if you know Cummins engine, like Cummins company. So they had a headquarter in
Yes.
Indianapolis,
Yeah.
Indiana. So that's where I got deputed
Yeah.
first time. So I went there for 3 years. I was at Cummins company at their headquarter, and we were doing like project implementation
Yeah.
for their worldwide operations. So that was really like an exciting, complete new world actually for both of us, for me and my wife Arti. So we went together, and it was
Yeah.
really like an amazing and completely different world. So like that's where I got my first four-wheeler, means like rather my first vehicle. So in the US you have to have, because it was like in a small town, you have to have your vehicle. So I could purchase my first car there.
Yeah. Wow. So, Sanjay, coming from a Marathi medium school, staying in Mumbai and then in the US, uh, was it difficult for you to really learn the language? How do you really present yourself? How do you upgrade yourself for all this?
Yes, I would say that is a really important fact, because even though we went through a Tata kind of company, but remember, like when you go to the bigger circles, like local people, I would say the local US people, we
Yes.
could speak the
Yeah.
technical English language, but the social English language where you have common verbs, pronouns, and like different subject topics, we used to have our heavy
Yeah.
accent along with us, right? So if you see, like typically when we speak, we think in our mother tongue and then kind of translate, right? So it is the kind of, we don't think in
Right.
English. So because that is not really our mother tongue.
Absolutely.
So that was where I got
Yeah.
introduced from my local, like Cummins, that local employee. He introduced me to the club called
Yeah.
Toastmasters, if you read. So that is a club which is a kind of a non-profit organization. It has branches all over the world, and they help you to learn
Right.
structured English language. So it is a structured program. Every week we used to meet for 1 hour, and then like it is, there is no judgment. Like like let's say if I'm speaking, all of you are supposed to point out my mistakes. Actually, who points out maximum mistakes, he is the kind of a winner for that day. It was that kind of thing. So people used to note down. Remember, like when we don't know anything, we say ooh, oh, So those are the kind of thing that is nothing but is a filler. Okay. So those people will
Filler.
count actually how many times I said ooh, how many said So all those things they'll say, and then at the end they will tell me. So that kind of provokes
Right.
you. Each time when you are speaking, it helps you to think again, and also it helps you to think in a structured manner. So I would say that has really helped
Right.
me, because I was till I was there in the US for almost 3 to 4 years. I regularly used to go, and that helps you to gel with local people. It helps you to understand the local culture. Also, one thing, it helped me to like improve those communication skills, because it was structured one by one. And
Yes.
within a year, in
Yeah.
fact, I became the president of that local chapter there. So I was so regular and
Wow.
passionate about that, and I was really practicing at home. At that time, there were no mobile phones, so we used to. I still remember, we like a tape recorder. There used to get a digital recorder. So when you speak, you record and then play back yourself. And then we used to ask, like, okay, stand in front of mirror and
Right.
speak and see yourself how you see. So those kind of techniques we used to do to improve our communication skills, and that really helped.
Hmm. Yes. Hmm. So, Sanjay, how many years did you stay in the US?
I stayed for 7 years there.
Okay. So, generally, the thought process of people here is that if you spend so much time, then let's apply for a green card and settle down in US. Did you do the same, or there was something different that you had in mind?
Honestly, like when I went there, it was like initially 1 year assignment, and that got increased. And then me and my wife both were very keen that okay, no, we'll come back to India, and we wanted to settle in India for a longer term. So that was a very clear thought process when we went there, and honestly, it didn't change ever. Even though we enjoyed life, we see almost all places in the USA, because that was our objective. When we go there, you want to see the places, because we don't know whether we can afford that run to come as a tourist, right? So when we were there, we have seen
Right.
places. So I never applied. A few of my colleagues did apply for green card, whether they were clear they want to settle there. So I didn't had any such plan, and neither I didn't apply. But good thing happened, like my daughter, we blessed with elder daughter Sejal there in 2001.
Hmm.
And that time I could bring my parents to USA. Arti's, my in-laws
Wow.
also could visit, and we as a family we again visited multiple places. But all of us were very clear and objective that we were wanted to come back to India. Because I like more social
Yeah.
life. I like maybe like the relatives and people here more. I'm like more kind of a social person.
Right. So again, this is something unique about Sanjay. When I was listening to his story, that he didn't want to settle down. He wanted to come here for his people. He loves his relationship, his family. He wanted to come back here and do something for his people. So Sanjay, were you able to achieve that? The purpose that you came back to India, could you do something back for your community?
Yes, yeah, always that is like always I had like, okay, can I do something from my side? Because see, I know like we cannot change the whole world, but at least we can change world for someone. So that was the key thing, because even if we can help
Absolutely.
one person, his world is changed, right? That is the fact. So we
True.
used to like
True.
when I came back, so I could see that a lot of people still in the rural background, or there's a remote place, like if you see Amravati, Nagpur, Nanded, Parbhani, there is no industries. Most of the people, even today, they come for job in the cities like Pune, Mumbai. So and even like so then I should say, okay, hey, what we can do. And as I came from that same area, and also I seen the US, Mumbai, so I had like a broader canvas, I would say, that really helped me to relate their problems. So I used to then
Right.
help them on one-on-one. And then I started like idea like, okay, once the new people come in, so we know typically the engineering results and all those are out in July. So we used to keep one
Yeah.
workshop in Pune for one full day. There, what we started like
Yeah.
asking people right from the how to write a resume, then what are the kind of interview techniques, how should talk, how they should present. Because now also if you see a lot of people will go for interview on in chappal, so we have to say that from, write that from, like iron clothes properly.
Right.
use use the proper attire. So all those techniques, even like writing from the resume, what you should talk about. People will be talking about a lot of personal things, but then no, you should be, when in interview, you should explain more about professional life. So all those techniques we started, and that really helped to get a lot of people job. But then what was happening, as it was getting popular, like more and more people were just contacting me alone. So then I started, okay, why don't, rather than me, why don't we make a group? And that, by that time, like this Facebook and everything is rare. So I created a kind of a Facebook page where, like, all could be added, and then people could share each other's experiences, learnings, where are the openings, and all those announcement could make. And that group is still active. Like we have almost like more than 10,000 members now on that group. So like a lot of people,
Wow.
anywhere there is opening, it you can post it there. Or somebody wants to like a roommate, or like he needs some help, he can just post there, and somebody will help. So that really, like, kind of individual efforts, that kind of more, I would say, institutionalized, because now it is like 13th year.
Yes.
Every year we conduct that one day full workshop. And
Wow.
then like
Wow.
now recently we started mapping the mentor. Like once a person comes, so some senior person from some company will help him till he gets job. So he will guide him, he will coach him, like.
Wow. So you actually have created a community which will support the youth from rural areas who come here, and they really you help them to get the right job. That's truly amazing. Anything else that you've been doing, Sanjay?
Apart from that, like, then I came from US. Like we had that community meetings, like, our local community meetings. And then I was one of my close relative was like on a decent post in that, and he used to take me to those meetings. And then he used to say, like, see, typically a lot of businessmen are here, but we don't see like the people from service or IT area. So they are focused on themselves, they don't really contribute something for the
Yes.
society much. You are in your own world. And then I
Yeah.
started going there, and I
Yeah.
started contributing what are the things what we can do. And then in 2010 they like made me a president. There was one big like get together, like, it is a 2 day get together where almost 5 to 7,000 people will come. And it was like a kind of introduction of, like, I would say, in the bride and grooms, they will, like, see each other, and they will introduce each other, and it is kind of on a broader platform, so that people can meet each other, and then they can get engaged, or they can at least rather than everybody going to everyone's home, it is not practically possible, so it is a common platform. So they made me the president
Right.
for that event. And then I really like helped them to, like, how we can use the technology for that. First time we created a mobile app where the people like now Jivan Sati or matrimony.com. That time we created that kind of mobile app where people can register, and then they can like see each other's profile. Even they would like we did that live broadcast of that event in even 2010. Like now we
Wow.
does Facebook Live. So that time we did that event. That was really amazing experience, and I could meet a lot of people, so new people, and then they really like, and that's how I could, like, connect to more and more people. So I'm proud, really, like in Pune city, we have from our community almost 4,000 houses. I would say approximately 4,000 houses. I am sure
Wow.
at least 3,000 plus families know me personally. So.
Wow. So Sanjay, generally people at such a position, because you've grown in your career also, right?
Right. Yeah.
You were handling what size of team were you handling, and how many locations, so
Yes.
that
So
people understand your
yeah.
responsibilities?
So this Cognizant being a multinational company, so I had the customers from Europe and America, North America, and Asia Pacific. So one of our big customer, we had offices. I had to set up one office, big office in Philippines. So I traveled there multiple times. Then I went to USA. And then we were setting up a new business units in the trying to get new business in the Europe region. So like overall, like there was like almost
Right.
500 plus people working in different countries, at least 6 to 7 countries used to work with me, and it was a different time zones. But I think once you decide, like one of the thing what I learned from my company was also like you have to make sure you build a team under you, which is much better, so that you can spare time for yourself and also for your career growth. Because the what they used to say simple, unless you create a replacement for yourself, you cannot go take the next position. So that really helped us
Right.
to delegate, and that's how I could get time for doing the social work, because the team was I used to manage, and they also used to trust them, basically like trust them, empower them, and once you do that, then they can
Yeah.
really work for you. So that really helped me a lot.
Right. So, guys, I mean, again, it's really, if there is a will, there is a way. So, Sanjay managing a team of 500 people across 6, 7 countries in different time zones, in spite of all that commitment, whatever he says, delegation, I know it's not easy to handle a team of 500 people in different time zones, different countries, setting up things, getting business, but he still managed to find out time and really contribute towards his community. So it was all his own desire that he made it happen. Otherwise, it's not easy. So Sanjay, at such a great position, doing so well, contributing towards community, what made you decide, leave all that and become an entrepreneur?
Okay. Yeah. So actually, yes, I worked for 10 years into Tata Consultancy Services, and then almost 12 years into Cognizant Technologies. And honestly, I was enjoying the job. The culture was very good. Both were like top-notch companies, and still they are. So it was a good experience. And even like I was working into community, and my wife also, like Arti, used to like really supported me in every area. And in fact, in this community service also, so a lot of people used to say, okay, how your family will let you go. So normally I used to take her also, so automatically both of us are there. So she also started like built a habit, like of the community service. So when we were doing that,
Yeah.
what we realized, okay, yes, we can, as a kind of corporate person, we can definitely influence and get help and get a lot of people to get jobs. So I personally almost helped 150 plus people to get their jobs, so by mentoring, by coaching. And so then with this, okay, why don't we do something? So it is, yes, we can do as a employee, we can definitely do certain things. But then when you become, so you are
Yeah.
your own owner, and then there is like whatever people you can generate employment for our country, for our community, and let's do that. So,
Yeah.
and then as I was passionate about this finance field, so since beginning, so I wanted to do something in the finance area. So I did plan my finances well, little bit made my arrangement, and taken that big jump. Okay, yes, let's do ours own. And I would say like it was a really hard step, because just to like I was getting a very good package, very good salary package, and
Right.
everybody in my family was like, means my parents and all, why you want to do at this age, why you want to jump out, it's going so well.
Right.
But my wife Arti was with me. She said, okay, if you want to really do something, it's okay. Means you can pursue, because
Yeah.
then there is no harm. Like, because you should have some energy left to do something about your passion. And that's where then I finally made up my
Right.
mind, and I quit on this last 31st December 2019. I quit my job and started my own
Right.
venture.
So Jan, you started full-fledged in your company, and March we had COVID-19. How did that really affect your business? And
Yes.
how have you really managed to sail through?
Yes, I know it is difficult, because my venture, this moneyspring.in, like it is, we are into financial planning and wealth management area. And suddenly this
Yes.
I full time started from January, and suddenly in March there was a like big kind of a shock. So everybody was like taken aback, and
Yeah.
it was, as it is, as everybody knows, it is not in our lifetime, we never faced such kind of phenomena, right? So it was like
Absolutely
kind
right.
of a big thing. So we had obviously, along with the world, we got a big knee jerk, so because a lot of people were worried about their job, whether they will not there, and then a lot of people have lost job. And so we are talking about here new investments, right? So how to do a new investment when there is no job?
Right.
So definitely we also have to take some hard decisions. So we trimmed, we rationalized some of our team members. Also, like a little bit like structured the salaries in line with the results, because we have to take some hard decisions, because there's no in business you how to do that is one of the big lessons I learned. Because even if emotionally I like someone, emotionally I think the person is good, I want, as a humanity, I want to help someone, but like many times finances don't allow you to do that, so you have to take some tough decisions. So
True, very true.
yeah, so why we then replan some businesses, but trim our little bit expenses. And the biggest thing was like survival, because once you survive, then you can fight back. So that's what our strategy was.
Right.
And we kind of like, and we survived honestly. Like then we just 3-4 months we kind of stayed focused on our work, and then now things are going on. But it was really a big shocker, and it was like many times it was okay, was whether it was the right decision to quit the job. That those kind of thoughts always will come to your mind.
True. So Sanjay, with all this experience that you have, you've traveled abroad, you've been here, you've come from a small town, seen Mumbai, settled in US for so many years, come back, contributed towards the community. You've really lived a great life. What is that you will like to say as a message to our audience?
Okay, one thing what I should say, like, because I have come from some, it's like what has helped, like as I said, it has helped like broaden my canvas in the life, because I could so
Yeah.
easily talk to a person who came from the rural background, or I so if I'm so easily I can talk to a person if he's from any part of the world, even if he's a foreign citizen for that matter,
Right.
right? So because I have seen the world,
Yeah.
so that really helps a lot. So like if I would have my kids will not be so fortunate, because they have seen only Pune city, right? So they will not get that kind of a
Right.
broader life perspectives, right? Because you can
Exactly.
relate your problems. So that
Yeah.
really helps to, one way it helps, in fact, to adjust to the any kind of environment that I have learned. Second thing, what I would say is like, don't think every time about how it will be like useful in future, because any work you pick up, it will help you in long run when connecting the dots. Like I was doing so much social work, or like I was so much involved. But now if you see, my business is like connecting the people. So if I had gone to those people now just with my business, so people will not link so much to me. But that social connections help me to get
Right.
across, because they know me personally. Second thing, like also
True.
in social connections, as people are like, they are not hierarchical, right? Because you are on a common purpose, all of you are working, so you get to know a lot of good people,
Yeah.
and a lot of good people in higher end of sphere. And you can and there's as those are on common thought process, so that can help you a lot. Because I would really say, like, few of my life's best investment I could do because of this social connect. Because I was the president of that event, I could get some really good deals, because now people know me from a different perspective. Because see, and another thing, like
Right.
like when you are working for a company, it is always the brand is behind you. But when you are on your own, it is your own
Yeah.
brand, right? So then unless you have to have
Absolutely.
some creation, something of your own to showcase, so that is very important. But what I would say, like, as just enjoy the life, at the same time just follow the passion, and money will follow. Just don't try to do everything for the money. But let's really remember that money is for you. Because we touch wood, I could, like, I could enjoy my life so far. I am blessed with decent money. Also I got the exposure, and I could get really good managers, very good learnings in the life. So I think everything, whatever you are learning, just make sure that you try to implement whatever best possible about it. Like even one learning, two learnings from each
Right.
individual, if you try to implement, you will make yourself a better person. So definitely that will help.
True.
And just follow your passion, and I think the things will fall in place.
Right. So, Sanjay, thank you very much for being here with us. And our sincere thanks to your wife, too, because she's been one woman who's
Yes.
really supported you throughout. Otherwise, all this wouldn't have been possible. So, big thanks goes to her. You've really led a very great life. Uh, and you've taught people that you can reach from anywhere to anywhere if you're passionate, if you're hardworking, and you really keep growing. So, thank you very much, Sanjay, for being here today with us.
Thank you. Thanks for giving me this opportunity. And I could also, it was kind of like a flashback for me of my life, really. Thank you for you. Thanks to you for giving me this opportunity. Hope definitely it will help someone.
It definitely will be a value add. Thank you. So friends, you've heard Sanjay's story. I would really like to know from all of you, what were the learning entire thing? What did you feel were true lessons? Uh, it's great to say it's a great story, but if you don't take some learnings from here, then it's not really touched your life. So can we really get something from you all? That what were your learnings when you heard his story? A story of a young lad from a small town coming here and making it big in the ocean of Mumbai and then the US, and then coming back and really contributing towards his community. How did it really go? What were your learnings? That will really encourage us and motivate us that yes, it was worth taking that effort and worth his efforts for joining us. So inspiring, yes. But what did you really learn from his story? Can we have some precise learnings? For me, it is one, the mentor who really played a beautiful role in his life. At such a young age, he gave him life lessons, which, second, he, as his disciple, that you can call him, he really lived up to those lessons that he learned. He didn't give them up halfway, because I'm sure the sir would have taught him and all the others, but I'm sure everyone didn't live up to that lesson. So that was truly amazing. Kishore says it doesn't matter how you are born, what matters is how you want to live. Absolutely right. Kshitija, I like this thought process. We can't change the world for someone, but we can change the world for one person. So that's really amazing. Yes, guys, who else would like to share with us? Yes, in giving back to the society is an important goal, and then the path keeps opening up along the way. Yes, absolutely right. Don't work for money, let money work for you. Contribution to society makes you grow. Amazing. Hard work and great intention always pays. Awesome. Awesome, guys. You're really doing good. That shows that you all were really focusing on what both of us were talking and discussing. Real good lessons. Anyone else who would like to share anything? So, Sanjay, I'm sure you're happy looking at all the comments.
Yes, definitely, ma'am. Definitely.
Hi, Anushka. Yeah. He made great connection with people in neutral environment and to get to know them better as individuals. Absolutely right. Varun says, follow your passion. Vishwas, do not work for money. Money should work for you. You should be passionate about your work. So true. So very true. And of course, I missed one thing very interesting in the whole story. Sanjay, I would like to highlight that. So when he was traveling to the US on the airport, to drop him at the airport, he had 37 people. He had to actually book a bus to go to the airport and be dropped, because as you all remember, at that time it was a huge thing, someone traveling to the US. So that was one thing which both of us were really laughing at, which we missed when we were
Yes.
discussing. That was really amazing. Yes, Anuja, his spirit of trying to do something for people's growth. Absolutely right. So, the challenges that he went through, he's really turned them into lessons, and he's taught and helped other people. And that is an amazing contribution that he's done towards his community. Great job done. Awesome. Right, Sanjay. So thank you very much for being with us, all of you guys, and thank you, Sanjay, being here. Gurbaksh is saying his contribution to the society played a major role in all his life. Yes. So great, guys. Keep continuing your comments, and see you next Tuesday with another wonderful story. I'm sure it'll not be as great as Sanjay. He's really traveled a huge distance. And not only that, but he's really contributed to his community. So it's a huge transformation from one boy from a small little village to really opening a world for so many others. Yes, and I'll take the last one from Samir. Started from scratch, make it big. Efforts and intention was to make it big with value add in people's life. Absolutely true, Samir. So it's a great inspiration story, Sanjay. Thank you very much.